Hello, my name is Miko Jamila B. Blessing, and the topic that I'm tackling about is determining critical values from a z-table. Let's have an activity first. Determine the critical value of the following. Number 1. Left-tailed test alpha 0.05 n equals 75. Notice that my n are all greater than 30. So this means the table that I'm going to use when n is greater than or equal to 30 is the z-table. So let us recall our table. Left-tailed test alpha 0.05. So this means that the z value is negative 1.645. Number 2, two-tailed test alpha equals 0.01 and n equals 35. So two-tailed test alpha 0.01 is positive negative 2.575. Number 3, right-tailed test alpha equals 0.10 and n equals 100. Right-tailed test alpha 0.10 is 1.28. Number 4, one-tailed test alpha 0.025 and n equals 48. So dahil walang sinabi kung left or right, ang kunin nating value ay left-tailed test alpha 0.025 negative 1.96 and right-tailed test alpha 0.025 value of 1.96.
Hello everyone, I am Faith and I am the third reporter of our group. So, ngayon naman, we're going to discuss hypothesis testing when the variance is known. Okay, so sa naunang video is variance is known. Ngayon naman, hindi given si variance. So, ano kaya yung magiging formula natin? Paano natin malalaman kung kailan i-accept or i-reject si null hypothesis? Aside from the critical values from the z-table, we also have critical values from the t-table. Okay, just to review, this portion here are the t-values. This one are the degrees of freedom, while this is the area, and this portion is the cumulative probability. And this one in the bottom is the confidence level. Okay, let's assume that a population is normally distributed and the value of our n or the sample size is less than 30 naman. Okay, so less than 30 yung sample size. So, kapag po less than 30 ang ating sample size, dito natin gagamitin si t-distribution. So, the formula is t is equal to x bar minus mu over s over the square root of n. So, hindi po given si population variance. Here's our example. It was announced over the radio that the average price of a kilogram of pork liempo in Metro Manila is 195 pesos. However, a sample size of 15 prices randomly collected from different markets in Metro Manila showed an average of 200 pesos and a standard deviation of 9.50. Using a 0.05 level of significance, is there a sufficient evidence to conclude that the average price of pork liempo in Metro Manila is more than 195 pesos? Normality is assumed over the population. So, dako naman tayo sa ating solution. Our first step is state the null and alternative hypothesis. So, based on our given situation, based on our given scenario, ang null hypothesis, ang symbol natin dito is equal. So, mu is equal to 195, which is value ng population mean. Sa alternative hypothesis naman, tatlong sign ang pwede natin gamitin. less than, greater than, or equal sign. Pero sa situation na ito, ang gagamitin natin ay greater than. So, mu is greater than 195. So, bakit po greater than? So, kung babalikan nyo yung statement, nakalagay doon is more than 195. And more than is just the same with greater than. Step 2, set the level of significance and find the critical value. So, our level of significance, alpha is 0.05. Paano naman kukunin ang critical value nito? So, nabanggit ko kanina, since ang value natin is less than 30, so mababa siya. Ang gagamitin natin dito is t-test. Hahanapin natin ang degree of freedom muna. Again, to find our degree of freedom, df is equals 9 minus 1. So, ang value ng n natin is 15. So, 15 minus 1 is magiging 14. Okay. So, once na makuha na natin ang df, sunod na natin ay kung ano ang magiging critical value natin. So, since t distribution, hanapin lang natin siya sa table for t critical value. Okay, ano ulit yung alpha natin, no? So, yung alpha natin is 0.05. So, sa ating t table, hahanapin natin si 0.05 sa one tail. So, bakit po one tail? Kasi po, ang ating pong type of test is directional. So, kailan ba natin masasabi na ang test na meron tayo is one-tailed? So, kapag po ang symbol na meron tayo sa alternative is either greater than or less than. So, from our table, alpha natin is 0.05. So, sunod ang df natin is 14. So, that will give us 1.761. So, again, our critical value is 1.761. Punta naman po tayo sa ating step 3. Compute the test value. Ang formula na gagamitin natin is t is equal x bar minus mu over the square root of n. Ang gagawin po natin is substitute lang natin ang given sa ating formula, no? Bale, t is equal x bar. Yung x bar natin magiging 200. Then, minus 195 over yung s natin is 9.5 over the square root of n. Ang n natin is square root of 15. Compute lang po natin and that will give us 2.04. After ng ating step 3, punta naman tayo sa step 4. So, for the step 4, hanapin lang natin si 2.04 sa ating curve. So, si 2.04, makikita natin siya sa right side ni 1.761. So, ibig sabihin, nag-fall siya sa under the rejection region. So, nag-fall siya within the rejection region. So, again, kapag po nag-fall ang ating test value sa rejection region, ibig sabihin, you need to reject the null and accept the alternative. And sa ating last step naman, gagawa lang tayo ng conclusion. Kunin mo lang yung statement for the alternative since yun yung i-accept natin. Kasi nga nag-fall within the rejection region ang ating test value. So, kunin natin ang ating alternative. Mu is greater than 195. So, ibig sabihin, balik lang tayo sa situation or sa ating scenario. The average price of pork liempo in Metro Manila is more than 195 pesos. Yun lang po. Thank you.
So hello everyone, I am Princess Jade Bea, and today we will be discussing the number 3. Determine the appropriate rejection region for a given level of significance with my partner Joel Allen. So now, let's proceed. The appropriate rejection region for a given level of significance depends on the type of hypothesis test and the distribution of the test statistic. So here are some common scenarios. Number 1 is z-test for a population mean. So the z-test for a population mean
is a statistical method used to determine whether the mean of a sample is significantly different from mean of a population when the population standard deviation is known. So it's commonly used in hypothesis testing when dealing with large sample sizes. So one-tailed test rejection region is in one tail of the standard normal distribution. So in one-tailed test, the rejection region is located in just one tail of the standard normal distribution. This means we're only interested in whether the sample statistic falls significantly above or below a certain value, rather than looking for deviations in both directions. So, two-tailed test. Rejection regions are split between both tails. So, in a two-tailed test, the rejection regions are divided between both tails of distribution. This means we're interested in whether the sample statistics deviate significantly from the expected value in either direction, above or below, rather than focusing on just one direction of deviation. So for A equals 0.5, the critical z-values are approximately positive or negative 1.26 for a two-tailed test. So for a significance of 0.05 in a two-tailed test, the critical z-values are approximately positive or negative 1.96. So this means that if the calculated z-values falls beyond these thresholds, we reject the null hypothesis in favor of the alternative hypothesis. So now let's proceed to the number 2. So z-test for a population mean. T-test for a population mean. So t-test for a population mean is a statistical method used to determine if the mean of a sample differs significantly from the mean of a population when the population standard deviation is unknown. It helps assess whether observed differences between the samples and population means are statistically significant or due to chance. So, one-tailed test. Rejection region is in one tail of the t-distribution with n-1 degrees of freedom. So in one-tailed test, the direction region is located in just one tail of the t-distribution with n-1 degrees of freedom. So this means we're only interested in whether the sample statistic falls significantly above or below a certain value, rather than looking for deviation in both directions. So, two-tailed test, rejection regions are split between both tails. So, in a two-tailed test, the rejection region are divided between both tails of the t-distribution.
My name is Caroline from 11UC. This is the continuation of the report in statistic and probability. So third example, chi-square test for independence. The rejection region depends on the degrees of freedom and the level of significance. For example, for a chi-square test with 3 degrees of freedom and A equals 0.05, the critical chi-square value might be approximately 7.815. The chi-square test for independence is used to determine if there is a significant association between two categorical variables. Rejection region. The rejection region is a range of values for the chi-square statistic beyond which we would reject the null hypothesis. The specific values that define this rejection region depends on degrees of freedom calculated based on the number of categories in the variables. For the chi-square test, df equal number of rows and times number of columns. Level of significance. The predetermined threshold for rejection the null hypothesis. Common choices include A equals 0.05 and A equals 0.01. So the critical value, G-square value is threshold that separates the rejection region from the non-rejection region in the G-square distribution. For our example, with 3 degrees of freedom and A equals 0.05, the critical G-square value is approximately 7.815. This means that any computed G-square statistic greater than 7.815 would treat us to reject the null hypothesis at the 0.05 level of significance. For example, the F-test for variances. The rejection region depends on the degree of freedom and the level of significance. Critical values are used to compare variances between two or more groups. The F-test for variances is a statistical test used to compare the variances of two or more groups. The rejection region in an F-test is determined by the degrees of freedom and the level of significance. Degrees of freedom are calculated differently for the numerator and denominator of the F-test based on the number of groups being compared and the sample of sizes. Critical values. Critical F values. Those values are used to determine whether the observed F value from the data falls into the rejection region, indicating that there is a significant difference in variance between the groups. If the calculated F value exceeds the critical F value for a given level of significance and degrees of freedom, the null hypothesis that the variances are equal is rejected. So in summary, to find the appropriate critical values for a specific test, and level of significance, you would typically consult a statistical table or use statistical softwares. That's all my report. Thank you so much.